Good afternoon and welcome again to the last day, the final day of the 12th National Black Writers Conference. I'm Dr. Brenda Green, Director of the conference, and very pleased to have today, we have 3 panel discussions. Today, one focused on saving ourselves, saving our communities, reconstructing the historical narrative, and the state of publishing, a 2014 Odyssey. I want to thank C-SPAN for covering this event, and I'd like to now introduce you to our MC for the afternoon, Dr. Linda Michelle Barron, who's an author herself, author and poet, chair of the Teacher Education Department at York College, and an inspirational speaker and motivator. Welcome, Dr. Linda Michelle Barron.
It is just a pleasure to be here at my sister college, Medgar Evers. I don't know, I think you need to just be reminded that the person you just heard speak was Dr. Brenda Green, who is the director of this conference and the Center for Black Literature at Medgar Evers. I just have the most love and regard for a woman who keeps our traditions going intact. And, you know, I would quote Marie Evans, except she is the most humble person over there. If you say anything good about her, she gets mad. Why waste time talking about her? That's her thinking. But she was like Marie Evans said, tall as a cypress, strong beyond all recognition, still defying place and time and circumstance, assailed, impervious, and indestructible. I look at her and I'm renewed. Give Brenda Green a hand. Dr. Brenda Green, thank you so much. It is my honor. I have just met these wonderful women. I've read about them, read some of their work, been introduced through their bios. But my job is to first warm you up, let you know that you're here to learn, but to enjoy, and to bring the joy of us being who and what we are. So just be happy. Just be happy. I'm not going to sing it. It won't make you happy. So just be happy. Bring your joy, because, you know, people out there are trying to steal our joy. If you've been in the place I've been, people are trying to steal your joy. Say no. Say no to drugs. Say no to people trying to steal your joy. Can I get a witness? Amen. All right, so because today as we talk about saving ourselves, we have to save ourselves through the joy of life and saving our communities. Our moderator for today is a wonderful woman, Dr. Jacqueline Brice-Finch. She is the chair of the Department of English and Modern Languages at the University of Maryland, Eastern Shore, and as I'm a chair in my small college, I pay homage to anybody who could be chair in an institution of higher learning. So, She is co-author of Get It Together, Readings About African American Life, and was the founding publisher of Mcquarter. Caribbean Women Writers and Scholars. In addition to being a presenter and an invited speaker at national and international conferences, she has also lectured at many American universities, as well as internationally at universities in Istanbul, Turkey, the colleges of the Bahamas. I could read on, but her bio is in your program. I think we best serve this time by letting her moderate, do her job. Please welcome our moderator, Dr. Jacqueline Brice-Finch. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Saving ourselves, saving our communities. African Americans are among the many people of color who have traditionally been excluded by literature related to the natural environment and nature in particular. Conventional notions of the literature on the environment leave out the ways in which, as a result of issues related to oppression, freedom, and equality, African Americans have used their knowledge of the natural environment, holistic health, farming techniques, etc., to study the natural landscape, to navigate different geographical spaces, and to survive the effects of slavery, natural disasters, disease, famine, and war. African Americans have been natural ecologists. as they respond to these crises in their communities, and in doing so, have saved themselves and their communities. Drawing from their scholarship, texts, and expertise in these areas, the three panelists before you will examine and pose possible naturalistic solutions for environmental, health, and social issues that particularly impact Black communities throughout the African diaspora. To my far right is Dr. Dianne Glave, who is the author of Rooted in the Earth, Reclaiming the African American Environmental Heritage, published in 2010. In 2006, she co-edited with Mark Still To Love the Wind and the Rain, African Americans and Environmental History. She has written a number of articles, including Black Environmental Liberation Theology, the historical and theological roots of environmental justice activism by the African American Church, and the African American Cooperative Service, a folk tradition in conservation and preservation in the early 20th century. Dr. Glave has a PhD degree in United States social history with an emphasis on African American environmental history. In 2010, she completed her Master's of Divinity degree at the Candler School of Theology at Emory University, with a concentration on faith, health, and science. Currently, she is associate pastor at Ingomar Church in Pittsburgh. The title of her presentation is The African American Church Never Left the Outdoors. Next to her is Dr. Lauret Savoy, who writes about the stories we tell of the land's origin and history, and the stories we tell of ourselves in the land and of relational identity. Her books include The Color of Nature, Culture, Identity, and the Natural World, published in 2011, Bedrock, Writers on the Wonders of Geology, published in 2006, and Living with the Changing California Coast, also written in 2006, or published in 2006. Dr. Savoy is now completing a manuscript of memoir narrative nonfiction, tracing how human experience and the history of the American landscape itself have, in fragmented tellings, artificially pulled apart what cannot be disentangled: nature and race. She is professor of environmental studies and geology at Mount Holyoke College. The title of her presentation today is Restoring an African American Presence in This Land. Our third panelist is Tracye Lynn McQuirter. She is a vegan trailblazer, public health nutrition expert, author, and international lecturer who has been named a national food hero. Her national bestseller, By Any Greens Necessary, a revolutionary guide for Black women who want to eat great, get healthy, lose weight, and look fat, and that's fat, P-H-A-T, okay? Published in 2010, this book was the #1 vegan book on the Huffington Post. Ms. Mcquarter directed the nation's first federally funded vegan nutrition program and co-founded one of the first vegan websites 15 years ago. She is a national authority on preventing and reversing chronic